All right, Nick. Top of the ninth has come and gone, and we head to the bottom, down 3-2. Who do you want up? Who do you want up to lead off the inning? Well, we want Jose Trevino until he grounds out. So I know I'm behind. I'm probably behind. We'll have to get caught up.
It might not take long. All right, I paused it at 12.
16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11,
Bang.
10.
All right.
It had a glitch in the pitch clock there. Just noticed that. 100 right down the middle. Ho hum. Let's get a little light in here. Oh, man. Nick, I don't know, man. I'm not even listening to the game. I have it muted. I can hear the game semi through yours, which is fine. I'm not complaining. But what I wanted to say is that it sounds like we're doing some really hard, deep diving into optimism that is John Sadak right now. I know Sadak's trying his best, but boy, is he's fighting the fight, I bet, right now.
Please throw him a ball.
Yeah, that's what we could use. We could use a ball.
And then Hamster can just lay down a bunt.
Yeah. Is there not anyone else that can hit besides Hamster?
I mean, I would pinch hit Austin Wins. If there's a spot for Austin Wins, this is it.
He hasn't hit in 2 months, but give it a shot.
I mean, I'd still rather take him than Garrett Hampson.
Yeah. I'm with you. We need a ball in the worst way possible.
Please, God.
No.
All right, good job.
Fouled it off.
Good job.
Hey, there's
just keep doing that. Keep doing that until he throws you a ball.
One admirable trait that he does have is he does put the ball in play. Might be weakly put in play from time to time, but it's still put in play. That's just not going to get it done. But that's not, I mean, listen, he put the ball in play 100 mile an hour.
Oh, it's a good swing.
Is this bad? It's not bad. It's like most times, not good enough. But
there's something perfect about Garrett Hampson being the final batter. I mean, there's something perfect about this.
I agree. Just, why pinch it?
It's what you deserve. It's what you deserve.
Yeah. He's going to hit this over the fence right here, too, and tie it. I can't wait for it.
And I would still say he sucks, and it's a terrible decision to have him on the big league roster.
Well,
I don't care if he's at 550 feet.
If he hits a home run right here, I think I have to get a hamster.
Just do a live show with a hamster on your shoulder.
I think we could find somewhere on the set that there's some little hamster. We could just do a hamster wheel. It's what we are as Reds fans anyways. Golly. I don't know what ball's getting thrown harder, the pitch that's coming in or the ball coming back from
Good cut, big boy.
Yeah, I mean that's there's really at this point. What's the point? Yeah, I guess that's kind of where I'm at. What's the point? What are we doing? We're a professional franchise. We're a professional franchise. What are we doing?
And a bench to bench. Change in the air to deep right field. Back goes Clemente. It's a save. He's done. Get out of here, baseball. They score.
Johnny Bench has tied it up. The Cincinnati Reds win the World Series in 4 straight. It was a sweep.
In the dirt, it's a wild pitch. Here comes Walker. The Reds win the pennant.
Larkins won the game.
That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none.
Welcome Joe Randa to Cincinnati. Adam Dunn has done it again. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Marty, yes. This is Adam from Milwaukee. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you think Scott Chatterbox is a good player?
Dunn up there with the bases loaded, the outfield deep and around toward right, and the 1-0 on the way to the plate. Swung on, long drive, right field, and this one belongs to the Reds.
And a high drive. Hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club.
Benson's first home run is a walk-off winner. That ball had a family.
And De La Cruz is, oh my goodness, look at this kid run. My, oh my, that is a triple.
Matt McClain's first big league bomb.
Spencer Steer's first big league hit is a home run to straightaway center field. Joey Votto's done it again.
The pitch. Votto swings high in the air. Right field. Yes! He pointed to the dugout to say, I told you. That is Joey Votto's 315th career go-ahead ribby. Only Johnny Bench had more as a Red.
And I can't tell you how much it means to play in front of everyone here in Cincinnati as a Red. What a gift. What a tremendous gift. So thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
High drive. Left center field. Racing back to the Laurent Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? Did he? He did. He did. Reds win. Reds win. Line into right field. Genius, the first Red ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed the no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
All right, welcome back into another losing edition of Chatterbox Reds. One, well, far too familiar. Offensively, just not good enough, really. Sure, we'll get into some of the reasons as to why, but we kind of already have gotten ourselves into a position where we've talked about the same thing over and over and over again, and we really are left at this point with not a lot of opportunities on this show to be entertaining, because you just can't be bad and also be so evidently bad in a very clear way. If they were bad and we could argue about why they're bad, then I'd say, okay, well, maybe we could have a fun banter back and forth about why we should do this or that. But we're not there. I mean, the truth of the matter is that we just continue to find a way to run out of the lineup that's going to be inconsistent, and it's going to stay inconsistent. So Nick, I don't want to complain on this show. I really don't. I am as frustrated as probably any other Reds fan there is. And it kind of reminds me of the phrase when Roger Clemens did steroids, and I don't know if you remember what his friend told the court. It is what it is. That is the phrase that I'd like to use tonight. This situation is what it is. We all know what it means. We all understand it if you watch this team on a daily basis. I'm done harping on it every single night. I don't know what that leaves us to talk about, but I genuinely, Nick, can't do it again. I give me a day or two, and maybe I'll get right back on the wagon, and we can sit here and complain about this guy or that guy. Yeah. Garrett Hampson. You got what you picked up, Nick. Not a surprise. So I'm not going to complain about it. I don't know where you want to go, but that's kind of the show for me.
Yeah, just a fun night at the ballpark. I don't know, man. It's just I'm with you. I don't like to be a complainer. I don't like to complain about the lineups every night. It's not something that I think is worth the amount of time typically that we put on it. But I don't know, man. When the Reds lost the last couple years, most nights, there was a few times, and I feel like when it happened, I pointed it out. I feel like most nights when the Reds lost, I felt like they just lost. They were put in the position for the most part, given the best opportunity to win, and it just didn't happen. There's been countless times this year where whether it's decisions made by the front office, whether they have influence or not, by the manager or not, and the manager that they don't put their team in the best chance to win. I just do not know how you can be a professional franchise and think that Garrett Hampson starting in left field is your best option. And does it matter if the Reds win tonight? Probably not. But it still pisses me off. I'm still allowed to be upset about it. I'm still allowed to be disappointed at it. I don't know, man. It's defeating.
It's so defeating. I just genuinely don't. I usually am one that can kind of rally and I can find a way to come up with some topics that I think are fun and we can all kind of have some entertainment. And here's the thing, man. The Reds for many of us are an escape from just kind of the reality of life. And life is tough at times, as we all know. Whether it's a tough day at the office or work, or maybe there's family situations that you can't control that are obviously maybe difficult to handle at the time. Perhaps that you've had loss. The Reds are a great escape that you can sit down for a couple hours every single night in the summer and watch a team that you've come to enjoy over the years. And yes, they're going to upset you, or they might not play as well as you'd like, et cetera, et cetera. But it feels like they're trying their best, or they're putting their best foot forward with what they have. I know there's a vast majority of this fan base that is going to go directly to the front office, and they're going to go directly to the ownership group, and they're going to talk about how the ownership group doesn't invest in this team, and they don't care, and blah, 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 blah. And I've tried to take the approach that if I were put in the same shoes as the Castellinis, and I were to say, okay, you own this franchise, what do you do with it? The truth of the matter is that all of us would spend up until we were comfortable, until it affected us personally in our finances. And I think that genuinely is what the Castellinis do. Now, many people might disagree with that, but my point in saying it is that they don't have enough money to compete with the major markets. So then I kind of just wipe the ownership thing out and say, okay, it's not worth sitting here discussing and arguing. And I think when the Reds lose, that's the first thing that kind of gets brought up is the ownership group and this person. I get it. I do get it. It's not that I think that they're the perfect ownership group, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not suggesting that. But I do kind of sit here and try to be a realist of saying, what can you do to make your baseball team better with the circumstances that you're given? And the thing that's most defeating, Nick, about all of this is it feels like we're watching a baseball team right now that is not doing that, even with the circumstance that they're put in, which is a small market franchise, which means you can't spend with the big dogs. Oh, by the way, not only are you not spending with the big dogs, you're not even putting your best foot forward to try to win in the margins. And on top of that, you're going out and picking up these random cats named Garrett Hampson, who I don't even understand why you would even want him on your team. And I'm not trying to make him like this only person that's wrong with the Reds. But I think he's a very good poster child as to like, why are we doing this stuff? Why is he starting on this baseball team? And why is he getting this many at-bats? And why in the 9th inning would he even get an opportunity to hit there? I don't know. I am defeated by all of that. And we're so sick and tired of losing, man. But we all see it. Like, we're just not good. And it sucks. And I sit here and I'll be honest, I worry about our viewership. I worry about whether or not people are going to want to tune into this thing in a month or so, because it seems inevitable. This offense is not going to get any better. And the show's the same. I mean, the Reds scored 2 runs or less in 35 to 40% of their games, it feels like. And me and Nick are supposed to come up with a way to try to polish this thing up and make it sound like we have something worth talking about. We're not good. Can't find guys that can hit. Can't get guys in when it matters the most either. You know, I mean, it's as simple as that, Nick. I don't know what else there is to make of it. We can do the box score recap. Obviously, we can jump into the game itself, but this damn thing is so frustrating, and I think we all feel the same way. All right, you can give the box score, and you can make it pretty brief because I don't know. Go ahead, Nick.
All right, Reds taking on the Brewers. Game 1 of a 6-game homestand at Great American Ballpark. Brady Singer against Aaron Civale. Reds got off to a good start. Friedel stayed hot with a leadoff double in the bottom of the first, and Ellie De La Cruz singled him home to make it 1-0. Tyler Stevenson then singled to put runners on the corners, and Steer laid down a squeeze bunt. The Brewers botched it. Everyone safe. Run scores 2-0 Reds. The Reds would, however, strand runners on second and third. Brewers came right back. Brady Singer loaded the bases, then walked in a run to make it 2-1, and then a sac fly tied the game. The Brewers then took a 3-2 lead in the top of the third. Christian Yelich hit his 26th career home run against the Reds. That is 5 more than he has against any other MLB franchise. Final line for Brady Singer, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. The Reds left 2 runners on base in the third, but then Aaron Civale cruised into the 6th, retiring 9 of 10 batters at one point, and the only batter that actually reached base was quickly erased on a double play. Reds bullpen did their job. Brent Suter threw a scoreless inning. Ian Jabot retired all 5 batters he faced, but the Reds offense went very quietly the rest of the way. Reds lose 3-2. Reds have now lost 3 straight games to fall to 29 and 32 on the season. And your Cincinnati Reds are 51-84 against the Milwaukee Brewers since 2017.
All right, let's do a deep drive of the day. We got to go to the Dominican Summer League.
We're back, baby.
The DSL Reds. Hansel Jimenez. I guess that's how you say his name. My apologies to his parents if I didn't say it right. But he hit his first professional home run today in the Dominican Summer League. And the thing is no one knows how far it went. No one knows what the percentage chance of the DSL Reds winning after he hit it was, because probably my guess is that the only folks that care are the 25 people that were sitting in the stands, which is the parents and the families that were there at the game. But we care here on Chatterbox Reds. Whether they went on to win or not, you'd have to stick around to the end of the show and find that out. Who knows? But I do know this. DSC, they are a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information. All right, we got some supers. I'm going to get to them tonight. I've been doing a bad job of that lately. We're going to do it right off the rip. Jacob
Please,
Doyle.
if there's any conversation from him, let's get to it.
We need him,
I don't
baby.
have much left in the tank.
Yeah, I'm on empty. Let me tell you. Jacob Doyle says, Trace, you've been saying it for a while. The problem is that our players just aren't good enough. It hurts to accept it. I don't think it hurts to accept it. I just think that it's so obvious that you have to accept it. Like, there are times where you can have blinders on as a fan, and you can sit here and say, well, this guy's that. This guy could be that. What if this guy works out? That guy works out. I got to tell you, man. If you take us and you stick us in St. Louis or you stick us in Chicago, hell, I'd even say if you stuck us in Pittsburgh and you said we're fans of those teams and we all collectively looked at the Reds, what would we think about this team? I mean, we genuinely would say, they got a nice player in Elly De La Cruz and they got a couple good starters. Outside of that team is not good at all. Boy, are they bad. I mean, maybe we should ask the Rockies fans what they think of us. I mean, I know we swept them, but they've seen bad baseball. They'd probably be able to understand, or they know much better than us, perhaps.
Congrats as an order to the Rockies. They won their 10th game of the year earlier today to improve to 10-50.
Nice. I do remember the take that you had, though, which was great at the time. It still works out, but we swept the Rockies, and you were thinking, it's still the Major League Baseball. You're going to have to try to figure out a way to they're not going to get swept every series, and then it's been tough sledding.
It was getting nervous.
It's been tough sledding for the Rockies. Dunny17 says Joe, Espinal, and Hampson before wins. WTF? Wins is buried, man. We'll save that for a second, maybe. I don't know whether you put it on the rundown or not. I don't know if it matters, but we'll get to wins in just a second, Dunny.
We got one slide today, brother.
That's good. I like that.
We're doing a second one.
Nick, you've never said anything that's more appealing to me in your life. Clement's family said trade Green at the winter meetings. Trade Elly at next year's winter meetings. We need more good players. Probably get 6 good players for them. Here's the problem, Clemens, is that at some point you gotta have a real baseball team at the major league level that is legitimately good. You just can't keep doing this every couple years and saying, well, we're not good. Let's just get rid of the couple good players that we actually have that are worth a damn. I get the sentiment. You want to make sure that you're getting as much haul back for these guys as you possibly can, so you realize that it's a waste right now. But you're talking. You've lost. You would completely lose the fan base. You'd completely lose the fan base. I mean, I'm not suggesting that, Nick, you only hold on to players because the fan base would get mad if you traded them. But those are the only 2 guys in the entire franchise that I actually believe you don't have to worry about. If you traded both of them, 988 is a very good resource, and it's something in which we all should keep in mind.
Number one, you never would get enough value back, even if you wanted to do something like that for a player this early away from free agency. The team just wouldn't give up enough because it's basically you have to trade your entire farm system for them. So there's a reason that never happens. There's a reason there's never a player that's a superstar that's traded with 4+ years left because no one's going to give up enough. So it doesn't even matter.
All right. Rolf says, to bat the hamster in the last at bat of the game. Yikes. Just give him the win. That guy stinks. It is a damn shame that Garrett Hamster turns into the poster child or the whipping.
You know what?
I
felt
don't
that
know if
way
he
too,
deserved it.
And then you know what? He's getting paid MLB dollars and he's getting MLB service time when he should be in AAA. So you know what? This is your price. You have to be the whipping boy if you want to get your free MLB ride for a couple more weeks or however long the Reds drag this shit out.
That's fair to me. I mean, if Nick Kirby's on board, boy, I will be right after. I'll be the next guy on that wagon. I'll tell you this. You know, I've tried to defend Nick many times in the past to people in private when they're like, "Yeah, Nick, man, he just doesn't. He's always positive. He doesn't ever." Well, I got news for you, man. You can enjoy to be a fan however you wish. Nick tries to find the positive, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I got to tell you, as far as being a realist, you can't say that Nick hasn't over the last few weeks just laid it out on the line a couple times. I mean, this dude's turned the corner a little bit. We got the Dark Knight of Nick Kirby coming through, and Garrett Hamster is going to be enemy number one. I guess
just took going back to 1950s baseball to bring it out of me.
I mean, the funny thing is the only reason the Reds scored even some runs today is they did execute a bunt, which was nice to see. But I don't want to go down that dark deep hole tonight, but we'll just keep it moving.
Bunt more.
Yeah, let's bunt some more. I think bunting more might be the ticket to the World Series. Captain 3 Howdy says, start betting against the Reds, Trace and Kirby. That will pay for Chatterbox. If the Reds will lose the series now, they lost the first game. You know what, Captain 3 Howdy? I had one thought tonight. I'm not even kidding you. When I walked down the steps tonight, I said, they're not going to win this game. But you know what this damn baseball team's going to do to all of us? I know what they're going to do to us. They're going to win tomorrow, and they're going to win this series. They're going to break that streak, and everyone's going to be like, oh, man, maybe we're not as bad as we thought. We're not going to be very good still. I got to tell you, I'm not trying to overhype it, even if we come back and win. But this team's going to win the next 2 days. I'm half tempted to put my entire, responsibly of course, account on the Reds in back-to-back nights over and over again. I might double up because it seems so clear to me. I could see a vision. So evident they're going to win the next 2 days. All right. Anquila the Great says the Reds are a comedy show, and you put on to fill the air. The Reds are a comedy show you put on to fill the air. I get it. All right. I can read. I'm sorry, Anquilla the Great. I need to read better. Odd Fishy says the Reds have Gary Hamster every year, it feels like. Not this bad. I mean, I get your point, but this guy's on a whole nother level of bad. I don't know if you've looked up his numbers, but boy, it is big old bad.
And he's playing left field. He's playing left field. He's not playing shortstop or third base or a premium position. He's playing the position that Adam Dunn played in this ballpark.
It's not good. It's so bad that you wonder, it's so bad that you actually lose faith in the people that make decisions that are very important for this team to ultimately win. You lose some faith because that's how bad the decision was. Could you imagine going into a doctor or hearing a story of someone going into a doctor and they have a broken arm, and the doctor decides, instead of, putting a cast on it and perhaps trying to immobilize it for a little bit of time to let it heal, they decide they just amputate it without asking anybody. And then you realize that's my doctor. That's the decision they made. And you start to question whether or not the doctor's all the way there. That's kind of how I feel about this whole situation. I don't know if anyone's home right now. Doesn't seem like it. Big C says, you're just gonna say, Trace? You're just going to say, Trace, you don't have to worry about viewership of this show. At this point, and I'm sure the chat agrees, this show is what we look forward to, regardless of this dog. This is a kid show, but I'm going to read this out loud. So I'm going to say right now, I don't know if Nick's going to edit this podcast or not, but I'm going to say right now, I do respect the fact that we try to keep a kid show. You might listen with your kids. If you're listening with your kids, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to turn down the volume right now if you'd like to. You can turn it back on in about 10 seconds.
I'll censor it.
5 seconds. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dog shit. This dog shit team. Dog shit team. Dog shit team. Okay, you can turn your volume back up. Thanks for all you boys do. Thank you, Big Z. Appreciate that. Kevin Jocelyn says, "Thank you guys for your passion and heart for this team. It makes the bad a little easier." And there's been a lot of those. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we deserve it. That's kind of, I guess, when you lay down your head at night, you feel like maybe I've never really prayed about sports teams because it just seems pretty of an empty thing to be doing. Seems like a very self-serving thing. There's other things that I think that are more probably appropriate to be trying to have a relationship about. But I tell you, I mean, the more I watch this team, the more I do wonder. Maybe I should take that to the table. Maybe we should bring that to the knees. I've considered it. I don't know what we did to deserve all of this. It's been a while since we've won. And Quilla the Great says, no one stops watching when the Reds suck. Misery loves company. They'll only stop if you stop calling a spade and stop speaking your mind. That's not going to happen on this show. Rolf then chimes in and says, I asked this question before 2 years ago in the chat. Who are no scrubs? Shout out to Tick. TIC, I think is what he means. TLC. It's TLC. TLC for the song. Who can we count on going forward? Rank your top 3 pitchers and top 3 position players, dying at Clemson's comments.
That's a good question.
Top 3 pitchers? Top 3 pitchers are Chase Burns, Hunter Green.
Ahead of Green?
Well, no, I mean I'm not ranking them. Hunter Green's number 1. If we're gonna rank them, I didn't know we were ranking them. You said top 3. Do I have to rank them?
Okay.
If we want to rank them, we can rank them. Hunter Green's number 1. Chase Burns is number 2. Number 3.
I think it has to be Andrew Abbott right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
especially
close.
Considering
Brett Lauder
that
got
Lodolo's,
hurt. Yeah. And
Lodolo's pretty close to free
Lodolo's going to get traded, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Lodolo is going to get traded. You want? I'll tell you what. If Lodolo doesn't get traded, then I'll tell you what. I will openly say, I don't know ball. Okay.
He should be shopped. The issue is I don't know, given his injury history, if you're going to get enough back in return. I don't know if a team's going to be willing to do that. But I don't think enough Reds fans understand that he is a free agent after 2027. So you legitimately only have 2 more seasons of him.
He's going to get traded. Top 3 position players: Elly De La Cruz.
Elly De La Cruz and Elly De La Cruz.
Elly De La Cruz, number 1. Alfredo Duno, number 2.
Yeah, come on.
What? I mean, can the man ask a question? I'm answering. We're talking about We're talking about guys that are still going to be on this team next year. Is that what we're talking about in this organization?
Well, I thought it was a longer than that. How he said going forward? So I'm thinking the next at least 3 years. So
that's fair.
I would have Stevenson number 2.
All right, Stevenson's fair.
Stevenson number 2, and I think I still have McLean number 3. Well, I think I'm just gonna completely. I mean, who else? Friedel's got to be in the conversation.
Friedel's not going to be here.
He's in the Lodolo traded thing.
Yeah, Friedel's traded. Friedel will not be here in 2 years.
No.
So I hate to say that, but that's the truth. All right.
Yeah. I think it's Stevenson, and then I think it's McLean.
Yeah, and that's heart-wrenching. A guy that can't see a baseball to save his life right now is one of our top 3 guys. It's crazy. It really is. I don't even want to believe it, but I think you're right. Putrid Talent says, I'll give you a DSC deep drive. My son hit his first home run. There you go.
Hell yeah.
8U baseball game tonight. He loves the show, too. That's awesome. Listen, I mean, that is...
What was the XFE
Yeah, what was the XFE? They probably have that, I would assume, at this point in 8U baseball. But that is cool. That's a life moment right there. You'll never forget that. Alex Binyaz Harris says, if Tito doesn't have magic, why does he get paid? I don't know. That's a tough answer. Ryan K says Kevin Newman or Garrett Hamster, Hall of Fame Reds player. Kevin Newman was such a way better player than Garrett Hamster. It's crazy.
You thought
Yeah.
Kevin Newman was a low point.
Oh, I thought.
Boy, were you wrong.
Oh man, I thought Kevin Newman. They were selling this dude's shoes for $2 down at the Reds Fest one year. I was thinking, damn, my God, this franchise is so low. We're out here selling our starting shortstop's shoes for $5. And when people think I'm lying, I'm being dead serious. He wore a size 14 shoe. I thought about buying him, not because I wanted his signed autographed shoe. I was thinking to myself, in case I ever wanted to lace him up again, I'm never going to find cleats for more affordable of a price than $5. And people think that's a bit. I'm not kidding you. I should have taken a picture of the price. It was $5 for this dude's shoes. Now, to be fair, he had gotten, I think he wasn't traded. What is he? He basically just became a free agent, if I remember right. I don't even remember how he left.
After the gastritis.
Yeah, the gastritis that got let go. But nonetheless, that was $5 shoes. I remember it to this day. Size 14 if you needed some. Rolf said, if I was Ellie, I would not come back. Let's slow down. I would not come back from the Dominican Republic to Ohio. It's too nice there this time of the year, and condolences to him and his family. I have to wonder if her health was weighing on him the entire season. It's hard to know. I mean, you never know what any of these guys are going through. Obviously, we talked about the human side of this game the other day. I mean, I don't know whether it was weighing on Ellie or not. I don't know how much Fraley's career has been altered by what happened to him. There are things that happen in your life that clearly make a huge impact, and it's hard to make excuses for guys because they get paid a lot of money and they have a job to do. And as I've said before, like if you build bridges and you're a mechanical engineer or architectural engineer or electrical engineer, if you fail at your job and people's lives are on the line, no one's going to care whether or not what's going on in your personal life. They only care about whether or not you perform at the job that you're doing. And I think that there's a lot of people that work blue collar jobs and have to show up each and every single day, at least within this fandom that is Reds country, that we don't tend to try to give guys grace when it comes to, well, they got this going on or that going on. We all got stuff going on. You got to fight through it and battle through it. But your point stands. I don't know how much of an impact it made, but it's something to keep an eye on, I guess. And Rolf chimes in one final time before we move on, says, the Poop Man bit lives on. It does. Gastritis coming for you. Who knew? All right, lineup / whatever, Nick. We did our best to run through those super chats. By the way, when you talk about loyal people and people that support this show, I don't know how much money we just got from super chats, but yeah, like it means a lot, man. I don't want to get emotional, but like we put so much time, effort into this. Nick busts his ass, man. Nick works harder than anybody knows. I've never seen somebody put so much time, effort, and energy into some team that is so piss poor, that is disappointing someone so much in their life than Nick Kirby. And my thing is like this. Like, I get people want to, like, dunk on Nick sometimes because, oh, your takes are, oh, look at the Reds, they suck. But it's like, look, man, there's a lot of time that goes into this shit. And it's just so infuriating that we continue to find ourselves in a position to not enjoy the fruit of at least a little bit of all of our labor of grinding through the pain that is this franchise. At some point, we need to be rewarded. I don't know when that is. Obviously, it doesn't feel like the times now. But I just want to tell you, when you guys support, like the support that we get, when it's like this, it means a lot, man. It makes you want to actually like do it again. There are times when you watch this team and you're like, I got to do a show tonight. I got to tell you guys, I've had a long day. I don't really want to. I don't really want to come down here and talk about this baseball game because they suck. I mean, what is there to talk about? But then you guys come in here. There's 360 plus people in here. The super chats are all over the place right now, and I get it. Maybe it's sentimental. Maybe I shouldn't really spend this much time on saying thanks, but it's appreciated. So I hope you understand that. All right, as far as the Brewers, they this is what they do. I mean, they just beat us every single time, Nick. What more is there to say? The game sucked. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and The Brewers are the example of a team that can win without spending money. I mean, their payroll is very similar to the Reds over the last 15 years. The Reds have outspent them a few years. The Brewers have spent a little more the last few, but it's not much. It's a Taylor Rogers and a Connor Joe difference or something. It's not much. And they find a way to do it, and the Reds don't. And, I don't know. I've given Nick Krall a lot of passes, but, man, it just feels like they said, you know what, we're just going to get a manager in here that is a veteran. We're going to say, nope, we'll give you Garrett Hampson if you want Garrett Hampson. And I don't know, the buck has to stop with them at some point. They got to find a way because I don't know, man. It's just it's I don't know.
You're right. I mean, you're right, and I think we've believed in what Nick Krall has done many times. But at the end of the day, the only thing that really truly matters in all of our eyes is whether or not they can find its way to put a winning baseball team out there. And what sucks about that in a small way is that it's never a guarantee of a real clear indicator of whether or not you're successful over the course of a 1 or 2 year window, right, Nick? I would say you can make all the right moves and do a great job, and things just don't go your way for a year, or injuries happen, and we've made that excuse for this team before. Like last year, we just said, hey, you can't expect this team to deliver on what you wanted them to be based off the amount of injuries they had. Yet, coming into this year, that gets wiped off the plate, man. That, you can't use that excuse again because you already see that you have some guys that clearly have some injury histories, and they're not perhaps reliable enough for you to go into the next season believing that they're going to be that guy for you. And Nick Krall just turned a blind eye to that. In the rest of the front office, I'm not trying to say it's all only Nick Krall, but as much as people want to get on ownership all the time, they have spent some money from time to time. And you don't have to sit here and like that. But they have. And they've swung and missed. I mean, Nick Krall has swung and missed on a lot of big signings, Nick. And that puts you, as many good things as you do. What it reminds me of, Nick, is this. Here's the worst analogy I could give you, but I think it makes a lot of sense. If we're a small family and we're trying to make ends meet, and we save money at the grocery store every single time we go, we make sure that we make payments on things every single time so we don't incur interest, and we do our best to save a little money here and there. Maybe we put back 10% of our paycheck every single time, and we do that over and over and over and over again, right, Nick? It feels like when we have an opportunity to make a big decision, we buy a house that's too expensive and it's not really what we need. Or we go out and we get a car that has a bunch of issues with it that was supposed to be maybe the next best thing. But the truth of the matter is that we didn't need that car. We needed a different car. Our big purchases have outweighed and basically buried all of the little things that this front office has done well. And that's the thing that maybe hurts the most, is you can't miss on Candelario. And again, I'm not trying to kill him for Moustakas again. You can't miss on Moustakas. Mike Minor was a terrible, terrible decision. And I don't care. I'm not saying listen, Mike Minor might have been an emergency move by the Castellinis because they said something they shouldn't have said. And they said, hey, you need to go out and do something and help fix this. I guess my point, Nick, is you're still the general manager. And at some point, you are the one that gets to make the decision. And I know it sounds crazy, but if you can't put up or shut up and say this isn't what we need to do, and you just cave into someone else telling you that you have to do something, which is supposed to be your job, then you're part of the problem. And I don't know, to be clear, if that's what's going on. But a lot of decisions that he has made that have been very big decisions, he's swung and missed on. And he has made some good ones, to be clear, that are smaller. And I got news for you, man. The dam is going to break. I hate to tell you, Nick, the dam will break if this season goes completely sideways. It will. I mean, I don't know if Francona will stay around, and I really don't know what will happen with the front office. And I know that sounds overreactionary. I'm not trying to say that's the right thing to do. I just feel like that's what's going to happen. I guess I'm forecasting that. If the season goes sideways, and it might not, this team's good enough to hang around.
I think what you said is important. Is that you can do all the right things and things still go wrong, but when you make just some decisions like we've seen this year, right, you lose any ability to use that as an excuse. Like, I'm not going to make excuses for a team that rosters Garrett Hampson and plays him in left field. Like, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you did everything right and you just had some crappy luck. You lose the ability for me to back you when you do things like this. I don't think it's fair to say they have to hit on every single free agent that they sign, because no one does. I mean, no one hits on these. I mean, the rate of free agents at that level, of that $30 million level, it's probably not even 50-50. And you have to take some shots, because you can't just only have players that are this young. But you can't expect that all these are going to hit. Now, do they need more of them to hit? Yeah. I mean, you can't go 0 for, 5 or 1 for 5. I mean, you kind of have to hit 300 or 350 or 400, or, whatever. Because there's a lot. I mean, you could go across baseball. I mean, the Baltimore Orioles played Charlie Morton $15 million this year. I mean, there's so many teams and teams that have won that still won despite making bad contracts. So you're not going to hit on every single one of them, but they have to be a little bit better. But that's not the problem, in my opinion. I think that's the problem everyone points to. The problem is the Reds don't have enough good players coming up. When they have an injury, they don't have someone good enough to replace them. When they have someone that doesn't perform, they don't have someone to replace them. And that's my biggest fear, is that whether Nick Kroll and everyone stinks, my biggest fear is you just say, we're abandoning this and we're just going to go try to do everything we can to win right now, because that is not going to work. It is going to blow up in the Reds' face, just like it blew up in their face in the mid-2000s. And it doesn't work for a small market team. And you will become the Colorado Rockies. You think it's bad right now? It can get worse.
I agree with that. And I'd also say you also can't continue to draft high-level draft capital on certain spots and those not be an area that develop fast enough to help you relatively soon. The game has changed in college baseball, and I think guys are more and more ready relatively quickly than ever before. I said one thing that I will continue to say on this show, Nick. If you're going to draft the number 2 overall player, to me, it means that you think that they're ready to make an impact in the big leagues that following year towards the back end of the year. That's how good I think college baseball players have gotten. They just are so much more developed than they ever were in the past. And I genuinely feel like this team, if you're going to spend that high of draft capital, Nick, then, and again, I'm not trying to crush one decision over the next, and I got to be honest, I really don't think it matters of what decisions they made. I just don't think that their overall depth from the farm system is good enough right now that allows them to be competitive if anything goes wrong. It almost like everything has to go perfect for them to be competitive right now. And by competitive, I mean be like one of the better teams that is going to make the postseason. They need CES to stay healthy. They need Marte to stay healthy. They need McLean to still be the guy we all thought he was going to be. They obviously still need Ellie to be good. They needed TJ Friedel to play relatively well, and he has. And then they needed to kind of maybe get lucky, if I'm being completely honest, on one of their corner outfield spots, whether that be Lux playing over his head and being able to play left field, and or maybe Jake Fraley comes back and plays incredibly well, or Benson, or whoever else. We're really, really wishful thinking is what I'm getting at. It feels like we got a 7-team parlay, Nick, and we're sitting on the couch and we're like, one thing doesn't hit and the rest of them, look like they're going to hit, and we're sitting around wondering why we still lost. It's not a good formula. It's a bad strategy. If you think that you're going to get ahead by doing a bunch of parlays, well, then you got what's coming for you. That's what I kind of feel like with this situation we're in. We got what was coming for us. We went out and we got a manager. That was overall, everyone loved the hire. You're excited about it. But I think most realistic baseball fans knew that really wasn't going to fix this roster. You back in that to what I was saying before, Nick. You need Chase Burns and you need Rhett Lauder to start making somewhat of an impact, and you don't sign Martinez, and you can use some of that money to help kind of, in my opinion, cover some of the holes or the areas that you think you might need to help somewhere else. And it doesn't mean Martinez isn't worth the money. I'm not suggesting that he is or isn't. This isn't an argue about Martinez. As much as it feels like we're spending a bunch of money on putting an in-ground pool in the backyard, and we're barely making the finances on paying the electric bill and the water bill already. It's like, that's a luxury. We can't be trying to go and pay for luxury appliances when we don't have the basic essentials. And that is, in a nutshell, what we have right now as a baseball team. And do I think Rhett Lauder and Chase Burns can come up maybe next year and help us? Yeah, I do. 100% do. Hopefully Lauder can stay healthy. And I guess this goes back to the question I have for you then, Nick. If you don't think we have enough guys in the minors that are ready to go, that feels like it falls on an area that I was saying yesterday is a severe weakness, it feels like, for this Reds franchise, and it's never addressed. I don't ever hear about a big headhunting operation for a scouting department. The scouting and development has to be better then, in your opinion. Is that true?
Maybe. I don't know. I think some of it's too early to tell because, again, I don't think people realize how long it takes to really go into the full mode like the Brewers did. Like, the Brewers didn't become this machine overnight. They were really bad for a long time, and they had to keep losing. But the thing is, they didn't panic, and they constantly turned over players. I mean, the Brewers have traded every player that meant something to them, right? They trade Corbin Burns. They don't blink an eye. They trade Devin Williams. They don't blink an eye, but they keep the talent coming over and over again. They're not signing big free agents. So I don't know necessarily. I mean, you look at the Brewers roster, 18 players that the Brewers acquired were from trades. They only have 12 homegrown players on their 40-man roster. So I don't know if it's necessarily scouting as much as it is you have to always capitalize. And the Reds right now, it's certainly looking like they're going to have an opportunity, and they better capitalize. I mean, they better be looking to move every single player that could bring them anything on the margins, and they have to be better on the margins on these trades. And they've done some good things. I mean, like Tyler Naquin, bringing back Hector Rodriguez and Jose Acuna. That is a great trade. You need more of those because prospects don't all pan out. So you better have a lot of them if you want to have any chance as a small market franchise.
Correct. We'll see if they do it. I mean, we'll see if they do it. They got a chance, obviously, to win tomorrow. Listen, if you're listening to this show and you're wondering what happened in the Reds game tonight, I suggest just jumping on the MLB app, kind of running through the summary. You can see who lined out, you can see who struck out, and you can see who grounded out most of the game. The only thing I would say, Will Benson had an unfortunate bat. He did. I've said here, and I've defended Will Benson. I said that he's one of our better options out there. I'd still take him. Still would take him, to be very clear. But he had an opportunity tonight. Guys at second and third with less than 2 outs. He strikes out. Kind of, unfortunately, weren't able to pick him up and get a hit after that. Inning ends, and you find yourself losing a 3-2 game. So the only thing that I have for the baseball game in general is that was the one situation that you'd like to have back, and you'd like to try to find a way to put the ball in play. But otherwise, the team's just not good enough. That's all I have.
Yeah, they had Civale on the ropes, and I mean that's when you have to try to pounce on him. So yeah, no, with the 100%. The only thing I have for the game is like it was great to see Santiago Espinal moved out of the 2-hole, but going left, I just don't understand why you do that. I mean, I'm guessing Francona's thinking is I'm going to try to jump on Civale early, and I'm going to live with it later. But you made it so easy on the opposing manager by doing that. They bring in a lefty, they go right through those, and then you had pinched hit all of your left-handed batters when they went with the lefty in like the 5th inning, and then they just were able to bring in their top right-handed pitchers against a very easy, very manageable lineup. So I don't think the lineup today in any way, shape, or form set this team up for the best way to win. And it just goes back to the stubbornness of leaving Elly De La Cruz second, and that it kind of just has this chain reaction of a bad lineup. But even still, I mean, you still could have found a way around it. Put Steer second, put Stevenson second, put anyone second other than going left, because you just made it so easy on the opposing manager. And that's the thing for me that matters with lineups. It's not necessarily where you put guys in the lineup as much as how are you setting your team up for success. And he didn't set them up for success because, I mean, if Stevenson could have gotten at bat against a lefty instead of Gavin Lux, could he? Right. Stevenson has a career OPS nearly 100 points better against lefties. I mean, stuff like that. You lose a 1-run game, it only takes one swing to have a different result.
Well, when you talk about big numbers and statistics, that's where I think that the margins do matter. I mean, listen, I've said many times, Nick, that we can disagree or maybe see it differently on a nightly basis when it comes to the analytics of whether or not you should try to bunt for a hit in the 9th inning when you're TJ Friedl on lefty and those types of things. And I think that there are small situations from time to time where I can understand why a player or why a manager would try to go against maybe the big number theory because of the way the game's gone, or there's a gut feeling, or the way someone's seeing the ball. Those things matter. This is a human sport. Humans still play it. But when you talk about the overall, I guess, outlook as a season as a whole, when you start to lose all these 1-run games and you don't put yourself in a position to win on the margins, well, you kind of got what's coming for you. And that's where we're at right now, if we're being completely honest. So, and I know a lot of people don't want to get into the small analytics of every single detail and all of that. And trust me, I very much think that the game becomes like overly complicated and it almost takes away some of the fun and the nostalgia of being a baseball fan when you try to drill into all these things and you're always trying to tinker with what this decision or that decision is like. But that's in a way the way that the Reds are going to try to find ways to be a little bit better with the budget that they have, and it seems like they've completely gone away from that. And they have. I mean, there's no way to say it. I mean, they've completely changed their philosophy when it comes to some of these situational decisions and games, and clearly there's one big difference, and there's no other way to say it than Tito probably doesn't believe in these things, and we'll see how it pans out. I guess we'll leave it at that. All right. We do have Reds MILB. We'll jump into that next. I'll get some super chats here in just a bit. But if you haven't already, please like the stream. I very much appreciate that. I think we're at 119 likes. How many ever likes we can get, that would be very much appreciated. Also, as a reminder, podcasts in the morning. Really much appreciate people that listen to that as well. So, Reds MILB, Nick. I know you're probably digging up some scores and some things that as we speak, but what do we got?
All right, we just have the DSL and the Arizona Complex League. The Dominican Summer League got underway earlier today. The DSL Reds, they won 16-7 over the DSL Astros Blue. Adolfo Sanchez 0 for 3 with a walk. Nabil Mariano 1 for 3 with a walk. Jervin Moriallo, good debut, 2 for 3, a double and a walk. And then the DSL Rojos, they fell 8-1 to the DSL Brewers Blue. Liberts Aponte, the Reds' top prospect out in the Dominican League, made his professional debut, and he went 1 for 4. The Arizona Complex League is currently in action. The ACL Reds trail the ACL Athletics 6-1. Tyson Lewis is 2 for 3 with a triple, and Cam Collier is 1 for 2 with a triple as well. No Sheng and Lin in tonight's action.
Tyson Lewis, man. This guy might be a player.
Yeah, he's only 19 years old. I mean, pretty impressive what he's doing just in his first 378 average in his first 7 or 8 professional games. So, I mean, as many dudes as you can get. There were some people that that wrote some stuff on Lewis, that obviously follows way closer than I do, that said that Lewis had basically all the characteristics of a guy that was a second round pick that should have been a first round talent because of he's from Nebraska, and it's just not a very big baseball region. So typically that you don't put as much stock into what players do in that. So
I mean, that's even more exciting if you're telling me the kid's 19 years old, he's having success, and he's from Nebraska, because more times than not, northern kids are later bloomers than kids that played in the South their whole time, because they've not gotten as many reps as kids from the South have. I mean, for obvious reasons. The weather is what it is. You don't get as many opportunities to play outside, and I think that there's something to the fact that kids from the North, more times than not, become a little bit later bloomers than some of the kids when they're younger from the South. It's the reason 12-year-old baseball, if you go south, there's a lot of teams that are really good down there. But up here,
he's a
not nearly as many.
Too.
I like that kid. I mean, I've never seen him play, but I like the idea that he's 19 years old and he's putting up pretty favorable numbers that quickly, and you kind of have to have some confidence to be able to do that, to be honest.
8 stolen bases in 11 games, too.
Yeah. Tyson Lewis. Don't forget the name. All right. Supers, and then we're going to do a little bit of who, what, when, where, and why. Jonathan Y1. Sorry, I thought it was a V at first, and then I changed it to Y. That's a big-time super, Jonathan. Thank you. He said, thanks for doing these shows. It makes this season better. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate your support. That's a big super. Thank you very much. Fetters, as an OG can get, says, Nick Kirby, leader of men, nut cutter for 20 months. 2-0, folks. 2-0. To be honest with you, I don't even know how long we've had the ability to become a member. And if I had to guess, it's 20 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my guess. The Big Red Machine then says, the goal is to get our designed. Okay. The light's in my face, folks. The goal is to get designed core to play together and keep them healthy. Only one game since 23 where Ellie, CES, Maddie, Marte have played together in the same lineup. Injuries have hurt us badly every year. Second half will be better. Big Red Machine, you know how much I love the Big Red Machine. I would say this, that can only work for so long. I do understand that sentiment, and I agree with it. But I also think to myself, damn, is Marte ever going to be healthy for an extended period of time? Is CES ever going to be healthy for an extended period of time? And I don't know who we blame here. I know the medical staff gets blamed for this and that. And as I hand up, I don't know enough about all this to know. But it does seem crazy that we never get nice things. It does seem crazy that between Ellie, CES, Marte, and McLean, not only, to be clear, not only are they not healthy, Nick, the vast majority of them are not healthy. I mean, we got 4 guys, and only one of them has stayed on the field. It's tough.
One of them's completely unplayable at times. Whether it was Marte last year, McLean this year,
CES at the beginning of the other.
It's a completely fair point. And look, there's a possibility that it all comes together almost like the Detroit Tigers did last year. Like that franchise looked like it was going. I'm sure Detroit Tigers fans on June 2nd, 2024 felt about the same way that we did. This team's never going to win, fire everyone. And it turned for them on a dime. Now, will it turn for the Reds? I don't know. But again, I'm more willing to believe these narratives if I don't have to watch Garrett Hampson playing left field. It's just hard for me to really buy anything that they're selling when they think that that's acceptable in a Major League Baseball game. You lose your credibility when you do stuff like this. It's not hard. He played left field tonight. Left field. He didn't play third base. If it's third base, okay. Sometimes it's hard to find someone to fill in at third base, and defense does matter, but it's left field. I'm not defending anything when you do this.
Hitting ninth. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's bad. There's really no other way to say it. Flat Rock has it nice. He says, well, I'm sad. Yep. We all are. All right. More baseball to be played. Go ahead, please.
One last thing. before we get to the tomorrow. The Reds didn't bring up CES today. I don't know if I have a hard take on it. Basically, the logic was wanted to get him more at-bats, more reps at AAA. I don't know.
Dude,
I would have liked to have seen him. It would have made me feel better. Even if he goes 0 for 4, I would have at least enjoyed the opportunity to watch CES play. I don't know. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to crush him for it either, though. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. The chat does want to remind you to make you feel better, I think, that Hamster did start at third base.
No, he didn't. He started in left field, didn't he? Am I? Oh, did he end up in left field?
I think they moved him, but
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it made for better content during the show. So
well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I mean, the guy's on a Major League Baseball team. What else is there to say? I mean, yeah. I don't know. Well, Big Red Machine says Hampson's walk-up music should be the hamster dance. D D D. Dee-da, 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 dodo. Am I supposed to know what this is? Hamster dance. In the meantime, I'm going to look this up so I can give it its formal appreciation the way you're supposed to say it. So I need to get cultured. I need to make sure I get caught up on whatever the hamster dance is so I can do it appropriately. Flat Rock says Burns kicked behind on Saturday. So, yeah, I don't know. Let me look up this hamster dance. In the meantime, you me a favor. You let everybody know that there is more baseball to be played. Believe it or not, they do play again. And we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it.
Got good news, bad news, Trace.
Oh, man.
The good news is Hunter Green's pitching.
Okay.
The bad news is Freddie Peralta's pitching.
Oh.
And Freddie has pitched pretty well in his career against the Reds. I'm not looking it up. I don't feel like looking it up. It's not good. 7:10 tomorrow, first pitch. Tickets still available.
How I'm supposed to replicate this hamster dance song? No idea. Impossible. If I would put it on the stream right now, if I actually thought that this was something that you could play without us getting copyright infringement, it's like, that's it. That's the best I can do. No idea. How the hell you even know what a hamster dance song is? I don't know. Is that something that's old? Is that an older thing? 24 million views. Holy smokes.
What are we doing?
God.
What are we doing?
What world am I living in, dude? Like, I was thinking, who's listening? 24 million views. Guess how many years ago it was?
12.
16. That's pretty good.
Probably like the peak YouTube time for something like that. Right before not everyone knew how to do it. You're one of the first. You come in with something stupid and it
I almost want to comment here in 2025. Anyone else? Last comment 4 years ago.
I'm gonna comment. Anyone
man.
Anyone else here after watching Garrett Hampson after their favorite baseball team?
Yeah, nice point. Yeah,
if anyone understands that reference, a lot of other people just what?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Well, folks, it's that time of the show where we end it and we tell you thank you for watching, and we appreciate everybody for jumping on stream. And I don't know, sometimes you wonder how the hell we do a show for an hour long after you watch what you watch, but we did it. So kudos to all of us. Kudos to you for hitting the like button as well. So thank you for supporting us. We appreciate you. We'll be back here better than ever as again. As always, go Reds. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.